Okay, here's a scenario I think most of you have lived through. A board pack lands in your inbox the night before a meeting. 40 pages, 3 different formats because 3 different people wrote 3 different sections. One chart contradicts a claim on page 12. Nobody has time to catch it before 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, here's the part that should worry you more. Somewhere in your organization, somebody's already started using AI to write this board pack. Maybe to summarize it, maybe to draft the covering note. And every single time they're typing out the same instructions from scratch. What tone, what format, what to flag, what never to include. That's not just inefficient, it's a governance gap that no one's named yet. Claude has a feature that will close that gap. It's called Skills, and if you get it right, it stops being just a productivity trick. It becomes something your board should be really interested in using. I'm the professor. Let's get into it. Okay, so let's strip away the jargon because most videos about Claude Skills makes it sound much more complicated than it is. A skill is a set of instructions you write and Claude remembers it forever. Instead of explaining your tone, your format, your governance checklist, time after time after time, you write it out once, you agree it, and it becomes the default format for all of your work. Claude pulls that instruction automatically when it's needed and uses that instruction. It's really powerful. So under the bonnet, a skill is just a markdown file. It's just a file with information that Claude can follow. Some skills are literally just one file. Others might be a collection of files that work together, like instructions plus supporting documents, templates, that sort of thing. You don't need to write these by hand. There's a tool to help you write them. And we'll use that in just a minute. And here's the part that matters more than the mechanics. The skill's not a one-off prompt. It's closer to a standing policy. Once it's saved, it runs without being asked. I use them all the time. And I think this is something an organization can use to support the governance of that organization. Hold that thought, we'll get back to it. Okay, one bit of housekeeping to do first. Just make sure that you go to your name, go to settings, go to capabilities, and then just scroll down and make sure here, code execution and file creation, make sure that's switched on. Those skills won't work without it. If you've already used artifacts, it's probably already switched on. But just go and check. Otherwise, you might get a bit frustrated. If you go down here, you'll see skills, and you can say customize skills. You'll see that Claude is already has one skill in there called the skill creator. I'm going to use that in a bit to create the skills. And these are skills that I've used, that I've created, that I use every day. So this has information about how I like to create blogs. This is my fact check skill. What it does is go through that 4-point plan. It draws out all the information. It checks the information is properly referenced. It then looks for secondary versions of that reference. And then it does a sense check that all the references are used in the right context. Then I've got one for my YouTube, so it knows what my YouTube's about. And so when I ask it to do things for my YouTube, it does it in my voice and it does it in the way that I want it to do. And then I have a skill that has a set of instructions about working with my website, updating it, etc. So those are the ones that I've got on there. Then there are others you can get. So here are a list of Anthropic skills that are in there, and there's quite a few there already. So if you want to create an artifact for your web artifact, then it will draw down this skill and use that skill. Theme factory, document co-authoring, algorithmic art, internal comms, brand guidelines. So there's already a number there that have been created by Anthropic. The real strength of this is actually being able to make your own. Okay, let us build a skill. Not late, Paul. It's late. It's late because it's too bloody hot here in the UK for me to record during the day. I have to wait until it cools down. It's still quite warm. Okay, so let's build a skill. So here is a prompt, and I will, as always, give you all of these prompts in a pack. The link will be down below. Go off and use it to your heart's content. You can download them from the website. Use the skill creator to build me a board briefing skill. It should take a messy board pack, PDF, or pasted text and produce a one-page executive briefing. Key decisions required, financial headlines, principal risks, and any internal contradictions between sections. Tone should be direct and neutral, no hedging language, no filler. Flag anything that's unclear rather than guessing. Ask me clarifying questions before you build it. It's now drawing down on the skill creator skill. So it gives you a skill that does this, which is fantastic. So it's asking me some questions, a few things up front. So the skill produces exactly what you need. What should the briefing come out as? Markdown in chat, a Word document, PDF, markdown on a docx. Let's have it as a PDF. How should financial headlines be handled? Single headline plus 3 to 5 figures. Let's do that. When the pack is unclear or numbers don't reconcile, or if they don't reconcile, what should I do? Dedicated flag section makes sense. Who's the briefing for? Is it for the board member or chair, CEO, exec, or general, either? General, either. It's asked me those questions, and it's now going to build the skill. It's using the skill creator. It's using the PDF skill to generate PDFs. Drawing that down. And here you can see it's got a progress bar. So drafting the board briefing skill, create test cases, sample board pack, run test cases, generate eval viewer for human review, iterate on skill from feedback. So it's now ready. So I'll build a new skill in the outputs, writing it the skill MD now. So the skill markdown now. Takes a bit of time. It's created the test cases and sample board pack so it can test itself. Very cool thing about Claude that you can set it off doing something and it will create some dummy data and then test itself, which is very cool. So it's testing, it's running this board pack 3 times. 3 times with the skill and 3 times without the skill as a baseline. It's got 6 agents running all at the same time. How cool is this? So it's finished. It's created the skill. It's called board briefing. It's told me how it tested it, ran 3 cases, opened it for a review page, told me how it tested it, open a review page, and you can have a look at what we've changed. So first of all, we've got the evaluation review. Let me show you that. So it's given me an evaluation. This is the MD file. This is what the board briefing looks like. And I can put in my feedback in there. Very cool. These are the benchmarks. With the skill, 100%, 79% without the skill, 21% better. So 21% more efficient using the skill. Time, 118 seconds, but less without the skill. So it has to download the skill. And token use a few more tokens. So use an extra 11,000 tokens. With the skill, 100% pass rate. Without the skill, 89%. Did pretty well without the skill, but the skill made it better. So without the skill, it particularly got the section order wrong. Evaluation 1, evaluation 2, evaluation 2. Empty sections were given as an absence in the without the skill. And it didn't create a reassuring status table without the skill. You get this information, you get the outputs, you can go in and say, actually, I want something different to this. You can put it in and change the skill. Very, very cool. Let's go back to Claude, see what else it produced. This was the actual board briefing that it produced. Just what you need. One page, all of those documents put into one page. Very cool. Basically, then just say, happy with that, save the skill. Basically, then just say, happy with that, save the skill. Packed it up. Here we have a board briefing skill. So save it. The skill saved. You can go manage the skill if you want. This is the skill here. You have a look what's in it. You want to go in and change it. If something changes later, you can just go in and change your skill. Really, really good. Really helpful that you can iterate it over time. So if something changes, or if you think actually this is not producing what I want, go in, you can change the skill directly, or you can turn it off completely. Cool. Let's move on. Okay, so here is a relatively long discussion I've had with Claude. He goes on pages and pages. What I'm going to do is just say down here, package everything we just did in this conversation into a reusable skill. Set it off. So what this does is read the whole conversation. It looks at what we did, how we did it, where we iterated, where I said, no, I don't like that, I want something different. And it creates it into a skill. This is a skill for creating backlinks for my website. And of course, it could be if you've been reviewing documents, if you've been building something over a long period of time and changing stuff, you can put it all into a skill, and then it will sort of run to the end of that conversation all the time, going through all the steps that worked and that didn't work, all the iterations that worked, all the things that you tested that didn't work, it leaves those out. We'll create all of that into a skill. So here's what it captured from that session. Do website health checks, fetches any URL, scans for any spam, contact research, uses Chrome to pull LinkedIn profiles, pitch drafting, 4 templates, tracker update, gives you a skill. This is the skill here, who I am, backlink outreach skill, golden rules, never use M dashes anywhere in any output, website health check, contact research, pitch drafting, templates for me to send out, notes to people about backlinks. There's a skill created, LinkedIn messaging, workflow tracker. This is really Python update pattern. So this is to update my backlink tracker, who I've approached, why, publication research, regulatory hooks. Fantastic. Save that skill. It's there now. That whole work that I did when I sat there, let's check this, let's do that, let's make sure this is in there, all gathered into one skill. How cool is that? Let's move on. Now, in this bit, every video that you get on skills, every video that you watch on skills will have a warning about governance and skills. And it puts it right at the end, just before they like, subscribe, and ring the bell. And I want to bring that up forward a bit because I think it's more important than that. For me, it's not a footnote. It's really part of the argument. So a skill is a standing instruction, and Claude will follow that, whether it's right or not. And that's true whether you created it yourself or you downloaded it from the internet. And there's loads and loads of skills out there. I promise you, some of them are incredible. There are even marketplaces out there where you can buy these skills. And research on some of these skills has shown that some of them do share your sensitive data. AI skills can contain security flaws, and they can even be built to quietly share your data. So be careful. And remember, these skills can reach files on your computer directly. And here's how I would frame it. Would you allow somebody on their first day to introduce new procedures and ways of working into your business without anybody knowing about it? No sign off, no owner. Of course you wouldn't, but that's what installing third-party skills might be doing in your business. It's not a reason to avoid skills. It's a reason to treat them as any other delegated authority in your business. So 3 questions to ask before any new skill goes near your data. Question 1, who wrote it? Anthropic skills or anything you've written, you've got some control over. Anything that's been downloaded from the internet or from a link in an email, you've got no control over that until somebody's checked it. Question 2, who owns it once it's live? Skill that has been created by somebody, but it's never been documented anywhere. That's a point of failure for your organization. If they leave, does anyone know it exists, or how it works, or what it's used for? And question 3, who checks that the skill still does what you want it to do? Has it drifted? Have things been added into it that you didn't expect? This is really important. These skills can change over time as you use them. So who's auditing that the skill is doing exactly what you want? That's not a Claude problem. It's a governance problem. It's precisely the gap in my PAIGE framework, and I will put a link down below to the PAIGE framework. It's exactly the gap that framework seeks to close. Policy, accountability, integrity, governance mechanics, and ethics. And a skill without an owner, without a review date, fails on at least 2 of those areas, even before it's run. Okay, so 3 things to take away. 1, skills turn repeated instructions into standing systems, and they're genuinely useful, genuinely worth building, but genuinely worth building properly rather than rushing them. 2, the best skills you'll ever build are probably not a fresh idea. It's a conversation you've already had with Claude, where you argued your way to the right answer. Go back and package it. 3, every skill you build and install is a delegated decision. Treat it like one. Know who owns it, know what it's meant to do, and know when it was last checked. Keep a register of them. If you want the board briefing skill that I built in this video and all the prompts I use to build them, they'll be in the pack down below, as always. And if you've got a particular problem that you think a skill could work with, drop it in the comments below and I'll do a video about it and we can build it together. Governing AI, and I've talked a bit about governance today, is something I think is really important. And that's why I built the course AI Confident. The first one runs in September. If you want to join the course, there are only 12 seats on it. If you want to join the course, it's aimed at senior executives and board members. If you want to learn about governing AI confidently, have a look. All the information is down below. If you've enjoyed this video and you learned something, don't forget to give me a like. You give me a like, more people get to see it. And that's really what I want. I want to get this information out. I want to get people using this technology and using it effectively. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. That really helps me as well. And ring the bell if you want to be informed every time I put out a new video. All right, I've been the Professor. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll catch you soon. Bye for now.